Hi, welcome to KJ and Tony Move to France. In today's video, we're going to be featuring Tony's favorite coffee shop here in Versailles.
Whenever we planned to come here, my whole thing was that I was going to find a coffee shop that I could sit and write. And I could spend a couple hours every day, have a cup of coffee, maybe a little snack. And when we came to Versailles, we quickly found an Australian expat who had opened a coffee shop right on the main road in Versailles. Now I go there almost every day, usually about 10:30, 11 o'clock. I have my orange juice, my coffee, sometimes lunch, sometimes not, and I get to spend a couple hours just by myself typing away.
And Tony absolutely loves it, so we thought we would share it with you. But before we do that, we'd also like to share with you some of the sights around this beautiful town of Versailles that we've been blessed to call home for nearly 2 months now. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Versailles France is world famous because of its magnificent Château de Versailles, which of course is a must-see. There's also St. Louis Cathedral that will be sure to take your breath away. And as in most French towns, there are several local markets you'll enjoy exploring. But the town of Versailles is charming in its own right. There's a main road just a few short blocks from the palace, and a few short blocks from where we're staying in Versailles. This is where you'll find one of the many premier artisan bakeries in Versailles, one of our favorite local restaurants, and a cheese shop that we've been known to frequent. And of course, Tony's favorite coffee shop, the Stray Bean. Where we always enjoy good coffee, good food, and certainly a good time. Today, Chris, the owner of the Stray Bean, has agreed to answer some questions for us.
So Chris, tell me a little bit about where the name Stray Bean came from.
Yeah, right. Well, it actually comes from a jar of pickles in the first place. There's a particular brand of pickles here that's very well known. It's called Mai. And in that jar, you've got all the pickles in a little basket, and you draw the basket up to get the pickles out of the vinegar. And we were having lunch at home one day, and someone did that, and there was a pickle that got left out of the basket, and we just started making jokes about this stray pickle. And one thing led to another, and it was at the time when we were looking for a name for the coffee shop, and it ended up becoming the Stray Bean. But I sort of like the name as well, because for me, the Stray Bean, it talks about people that are just on the street, and anyone can be straying around and straying into our shop. And they're welcome and come in the door, and so I sort of like the name as soon as we came up with it.
So tell us a little bit about what makes the Stray Bean different.
Well, it's definitely different from a sort of coffee shop that you used to be able to find in France. Now we get more and more of this type of coffee shop in France. But the Stray Bean is more similar to the sorts of coffee shops that you can find a lot in Australia and in Melbourne and in other places as well. In France, people used to drink coffee differently, maybe an espresso after breakfast or after lunch. Not so much the Italian style of coffees with cafe lattes and cappuccinos and so on. So the whole atmosphere is very different from what you normally get in France. And apart from that, we just try to do things well. We try to create an environment, an atmosphere that people enjoy, so that when people come in, they think it's a nice place, and they just enjoy being here.
Well, you definitely achieved that with us, that's for sure.
You. It's always love hearing that and love getting that sort of feedback. And you know, that's really what it's about for us. It's just that you know, we do coffees and we do lots of other things as well, food and drink. But the main thing is that you know, we've created a place here that is just somewhere where people enjoy being.
One thing I think you've really accomplished here is that you have a lot of regulars. You have a lot of people.
Yeah.
I come in, I'm here probably 4 days a week, and I see one person in particular who's here every time I'm here, but a few other people that I see multiple times.
Mm.
So that's a really good sign.
Yeah, well, it's one of the real pleasures for us as well that you know, we know a lot of people here now. We're always saying hello to people that we know in the area, which is great, and that obviously means that we're doing something right as well. They like coming. But you know, we're in a position here, being in Versailles, where we get a lot of tourists as well, and so it's really both of those populations, if you like. And you know, it's great as well, just meeting tourists and people that come from all around the world and having a chat with them for the first time as well. So both those sides of things are something that we really enjoy.
You've been very welcoming, not just today, every time we come in here. We just want to thank you for letting us do this.
Well, thanks for coming. And you know, when people say that they like you know, the service here, they find us you know, being nice people, well, I always say it helps a lot when the customers are really nice as well. We're very lucky here. I think we get a lot of people that are you know, very easy to serve and that we enjoy seeing. So thanks for coming.
Well, it's our pleasure.
All right, so we just had our coffee and our breakfast at the Stray Bean, and we're headed back home again we're in the Passage St. Louis, which is just next to St. Louis Cathedral, which happens to be just a few short blocks from our apartment. So we're headed back home.
A couple of other things we'd like to tell you about the Stray Bean. It's a great place to bring your laptop and do your work. You can't go on weekends with your laptop because it gets really crowded, and so they don't want people just hanging out and taking up space. But it's a great place if you kind of want to just get lost in there and get in your computer and have a good cup of coffee. Enjoy the help, who all speak English. They also speak French, and some speak some other languages too. But if you're American or you're from the UK and you don't speak French or only speak it a little bit, this is a very English-friendly type of place.
And especially if you are visiting Versailles, or maybe you're visiting Paris and you come out to Versailles to visit the palace and you're looking for a place to get a cup of coffee and a quick bite to eat, and you're looking for a place where they speak English, because something about Versailles that is different than Paris is that English is not spoken here as you won't find it as frequently as you'll find it in Paris. A lot more people in Paris speak English than here in Versailles. So it's always nice to have some places to go if you don't speak much French where they speak English, and that's definitely at the Stray Bean.
So thanks for joining us for today's video, and if you liked it, don't forget to hit the like button, and also don't forget to subscribe.
And we'll be back again next week with another adventure from France.
Thank you.
Bye.